love someone else, you must first learn to love yourself. People have been saying that for a long time, and they're not wrong. Self-Care Sundays is a series on this channel where traditionally I talk about different ways to learn to love yourself psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and otherwise. The thing that these people, of course, are missing is that it's not just important to learn to love yourself and then love others, but how you demonstrate that love to yourself and then to others. I'm Linda. This is Linda's World. This is Self-Care Sundays, and tonight we're taking a look at the love languages. In his 1992 book, Gary Chapman outlines 5 love languages, which is the way we express love to others and the way we expect love to be given back to us in turn. If you'd like to know what these 5 love languages are and how you can harness your ability to know these things for your own self-care, well, stay tuned because Self-Care Sundays starts right now. As I sit here tonight to film this video about love languages, I'm reminded of the new song, My Future by Billie Eilish. She sings a line in that song that I find to be, well, my favorite, of course, and also very fitting to tonight's video. At one point, Billie says, "I know I'm supposedly lonely now, and I'm supposed to be unhappy without someone, but aren't I someone?" At the age of 18, Billie Eilish has harnessed the very thing that I'm trying to say, which is that the relationship you have with yourself is the relationship that is most important. You have it with yourself the moment you're born, and you'll have it with yourself the moment you die. And it's the relationships we have in between with other humans that cause us conflict, right? So if the 5 love languages are 5 means of showing another person that we care, why can't we in turn show ourselves that we care by doing these 5 things for ourselves? Makes perfect sense to me. And I'm going to outline what they are and how you can do it. Before I do, I would like to say that if you're just a casual viewer of Linda's World and you're just not committed to subscribing yet, or if you've never seen a Linda's World video before and this is your first time ever just stumbling upon my channel on the internet, well, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button down below. And while you're there, do not forget that notification bell because you want to be notified when I post new videos so you can watch. And, well, here you are watching one now, so why don't I stop going and start telling you about the love languages. Okay, so the 5 love languages, as they're outlined in Gary Chapman's book, are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what you can do for your own self that will be self-care along the lines of the love languages, because people always tell you to care for yourself and love yourself and they never really tell you how. Well, isn't this a wonderful how-to? This is a guide if you ask me. So we're going to break it down. Now, words of affirmation comes first, and I will admit it's a little silly. Okay, I'm thinking of the old SNL sketch with Hal Franken years ago of Stuart Smiley when he gives positive affirmations to himself in the mirror. He's like, "I am wonderful, I am great," and he repeats these affirmations to himself. And I know that it's a little bit weird that people may or may not do that. You know what I mean? And I've done that myself in the mirror before when I needed it, but that's not entirely what I'm talking about. I'm talking about finding space in your daily life to give yourself words of affirmation in whatever form possible. For example, I've been having tremendous success with my mindfulness journal. I will picture it there. And I have been writing in these prompts, every day in the mindfulness journal. It's really given me a lot of success with harnessing my thoughts and thoughts that I think not just about other stuff, but about myself. It really causes me to reflect and think. And when I think about stuff, I realize that I'm not entirely the worst person in the world. A little put upon perhaps, but not all that bad. And so I use the mindfulness journal as my words of affirmation. You can also do the traditional thing, which is write in your diary and write about the fact that you're very proud of yourself for what you did today. I lost a pound, or I didn't yell at that guy on the train who stepped on my foot, or whatever it is that was your minor success or your major success because you did it. And this should be some documentation of it somewhere, or at least a congratulations to yourself. I celebrated my 43rd birthday alone this year in quarantine, and I sang to myself over a Pepperidge Farm cake, and happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday dear Linda, happy birthday to me. Yay! Then I sat and watched a documentary about Kurt Cobain, and that's how I spent my birthday. But the thing is that It wasn't bad because I was giving myself words of affirmation. When I sang to myself, happy birthday to me, I meant it. Happy birthday, Linda. Have a good freaking birthday. And I did, within reason, with COVID, And those were my words of affirmation. Quality time, well, that's easy. Okay. I'm always talking about finding time for yourself because that's self-care. And whatever it is that you like to do with yourself, do that. Well, that's what they're talking about. Quality time. If you could spend quality time with another person, if you can go spend quality time with your mom or spend quality time with your husband or whatever, right? Can't you spend quality time with yourself? Can't you sit in your home or go to the gym or go do your nails or go take a nap or whatever it is that makes you happy just for you? Isn't that quality time? Isn't that a love language? I think so. I reward myself by the end of the day personally. I have this summer routine going on, which is that every night at 7 something, I sit down with my dog and we watch television. I've been into the old sitcoms, particularly the sitcom Alice. And I don't know, don't ask. And then I have a candle and my book and my mindfulness journal, and I just relax and enjoy the evening. And I just take it all in, and I eat a snack, and I just hang out with myself. And I gotta tell you, it's quality time. And it's quality time with my dog as well, but that's not self-love, that's pet mom love, and that's a whole different video. Receiving gifts. Come on. You can't tell me that you haven't built a whole bunch of carts in Amazon and then hit save for later, save for later, save for later, save for later. I know you have. You know how I know? I do it every night. Okay. I've had carts that were filled with $2,000 worth of stuff, and I don't possess $2,000, but every once in a while, buying a gift is not a bad thing. I bought this. This is from Honeymoon Co, and it's the Take Care of Your Body tea, because on the back it has the lyrics of Get Well Soon and tells you exactly how to take care of your body, according to Ariana Grande. And I absolutely love it, and I've been wearing it all day, and I think it's really cool. And it was a way of giving myself some self-care. It was showing a love language to myself. It was receiving a gift. When Santa comes, as I call it, the UPS or USPS or FedEx driver, that's exciting, and provided you can afford it, and I'm not even saying go out and buy yourself $1 million worth of stuff, buy something, right? That is receiving a gift, makes you feel better, and that is self-care. It's a love language to you. We're almost done, actually. And now, of course, we have acts of service. Now, acts of service is tough because it's you, It's really easy to bring someone else flowers. It's really easy to take out the garbage for somebody else, although, of course, most husbands polled would say that it's not. But acts of service, if we're committed to doing acts of service to others so much, oh, absolutely, I'll pick up your mail for you while you're out of town. Oh, I will set the table for you for dinner tonight. I will bring home Chinese food because you don't want to cook. Whatever it is that people do that are acts of service, and this is my particular love language that I like. I feel loved when people do stuff that I need. That's my love language with others. Well, you can act of service yourself. You can do things around the house. You can do things outside for yourself. Like, for example, an act of service that I did to myself recently is I painted my living room. No one else was going to come. No magical paint fairy was going to show up and paint my living room. I didn't like the brown anymore, and I wanted it to not be brown. And I just bought, this is called Vanilla Mocha, and it's the same color as my kitchen. And one day I just put on my rubber gloves, got out my tools, poured some paint in a tray, covered the floor. Act of service. I painted my living room. And that night, when I sat down to do my ritual, my quality time, as it were, I was sitting in a brand new living room that made me feel a lot better. It was lighter. It was pretty. It filled me with comfort and glee and light and all that and whatnot. And when I sat down to watch Alice, I felt as though I had a better place to do my quality time because I'd done an act of service for myself. And I love it. The last one is physical touch. And I hear the jokes already, okay? This is Self-Care Sundays, and I'm telling you, hey, perform these love languages on yourself. By the way, the 5th one is physical touch. Like, I totally understand, okay? I'm not going to even go there, but I'm gonna go there. Whatever it is that you do to your physical person in the confines of your space that make you feel better and give you a happy evening or morning or whatever, okay, like that's on you, and that's totally cool, and you know, the whole world does it, and that's great. But beside the traditional physical touch that I think you're thinking about, there's also other things that you could do in terms of physical touch that show that you love yourself in a really G-rated way. For example, you can enjoy the pleasures of fine fabrics. You know, my best friend will wear a sweater that isn't cashmere, and I mean, you know, shouldn't we all have that luxury? But she surrounds herself in cashmere, and she puts it on, and she feels it's nice against her skin. Something that I do in terms of physical touch that is G-rated also is if anyone's ever met me knows how I feel about the beach. And so when I go to the beach and I feel, regardless of whether or not I tan, it's not about color, although I appreciate that, it's the physical sensation of sun on my flesh. You know, the sunlight hitting my physical person just makes me so gosh darn happy. John Denver, a good 45 years ago, said, "Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine almost always makes me high." And yeah, you know, and that's something that I do for my own self-care. It's a love language I give to myself that is physical touch, you know. And so there we have it. Now, I've talked to Blue Streak about the love languages regarding yourself. I would like to put my 2 cents in about one other thing. And that's the fact that we've told you what to do to yourself. But look out for this one thing, which is that when you are in a relationship with a significant other, or you have a friendship or a family relationship that is incredibly important to you, and you specifically show your love in one of these languages, quality time, physical touch, blah, blah, right? Then what you're doing is you're teaching the other person what you like best. You're showing them love in the way that you want to receive it, according to the literature, right? So if you want to be physically touched, touch people. If you want someone to do nice stuff for you, acts of service, do nice stuff for them, okay? Dr. Phil once said, we teach people how to treat us. And he was kind of talking about how much abuse you'll take, you know? But if you whip it around to the positive side and you you're showing what love you can take and what form your love should take, then you're basically telling people what you respond to most. And any person who gives a damn about you and is paying attention will probably note that. And you will find that your physical touches are met, your words of affirmation are met, your quality time is met, and so forth. And if it's not, well, it's Self-Care Sundays. I'm telling you how to love yourself, and one of the ways you might wind up having to love yourself is by exiting that relationship, because that person isn't in tune with your particular love language. Now, we don't necessarily always give and receive love the same. We could prefer physical touch while giving acts of service. I mean, you know, blah, 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 down the line. You know, it's a cornucopia of ways to show you care. But the thing is that what you have to look out for is the fact that if you can do these things for yourself and then you turn around and do them to others, you should expect that at the very least, one of your favorite love languages are met, you know? And I just wanted to put that specific point out there to make sure that people are getting the love language or love at all from the other person in return that they're giving out there. Because a lot of times people don't understand until they start looking at this stuff how incredibly one-sided a relationship can be. I've talked enough. The VMAs are on. I'm gonna go watch them, and that's pretty much that. I would encourage you to look further into the love languages specific to your relationships if it's something you're interested in, or if this has raised any questions for you. I would definitely suggest that you go and practice a little self-love in whatever way you see fit. And that's what I'm about to do by hanging out with my dog and watching Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga sing Rain on Me. So there you go. That's my quality time. I will see you in the next video, and you have yourself a awesome day.